Outback Outdoors with Dave Baronio, Adam Wells, Jim Brennan, and Trevon Stoltzfus. Outback Outdoors is brought to you by Hoyt, Mossy Oak, Nikon, Wilderness Athlete, Bugling Bull Game Calls, Hex, Winner's Choice, and also brought to you by these fine sponsors. On this webisode, Trevon Stoltzfus of Outback Outdoors bowhunts bugling bulls on public land in Wyoming with Quentin Smith and QRS Outdoor Specialties.
Here at Outback Outdoors, we are fortunate enough to apply for a lot of different areas. And sometimes we're lucky enough to draw the tag. Well, in 2011, I was one of those lucky guys. I drew a 2011 Wyoming elk tag that I've been applying for quite a while. Matter of fact, I had max preference points in order to get it. And I was going to join my good buddy Quentin Smith and QRS Outdoor Specialties heading up to Wyoming to hunt elk. Now this hunt was going to be primarily on public land. And at Outback Outdoors, one of the things that we have to be careful of when we're videoing on public land is that we get and pull our proper permit. Because by using any type of footage that you gain on public property, you need to pay a filming permit or there's some huge fines. Early in the season, we took care of that, made sure we got that figured out, and we were ready to rock with QRS Outdoor Specialties and Quentin Smith. I arrived with high expectation. It was the middle of the month. We wanted to actually put the hunt off a little bit till they really started to rut. Opening morning of my elk season. We got up on this ridge and we were glassing. We're here in Wyoming, glassing. Bull bugles behind us, heading right towards us. Wind's right. It's perfect. He was a young, probably 3.5-year-old, small 6, but it's happening already. I'm excited. Hard to draw a tag. We're ready to rock and roll here in Wyoming. First morning hunt's done. We're gonna back out of here. They've bedded down. We know that there's a bull in here.
That's right.
But with this wind, thermals have changed. We'll do everything wrong. We don't want to do that because
That's right.
You guys have killed some big bulls out of here.
There's some big elk in here.
Yeah, so we're gonna back out. Possibly. This is a great morning spot. I mean, they were bugling until 10 this morning. We saw a couple of small bulls and. But we gotta go find the big boys.
Well, like I told you, they're just working up and down this thing, so we say that and then he bugles right there again. He's really not that far up there, but he's bedded. He's bedded, yeah. To say the hunt was easy, that'd be a lie, because not only were we on public land, but we were also dealing with a late rut. And most of the bulls that we would get in on, they would gather their harems, the group of cows they had, and they would take off because they knew the big bulls were going to be coming in at any time and try and steal their girls.
on the brakes. Luckily, Q kept calling. Kept it relaxed so it didn't blow out the bulls across the canyon now. I can just keep moving. This is the actual tree that this bull just tore the crud out of. He was coming to us, coming to QQ, was calling, bugling, getting him all worked up, and he was coming. We could hear him. We thought he was getting closer than he actually was. He was just laying into this tree. And then another bull came over behind, and instead of coming to run us off, which we were hoping, he turned and went and ran that other bull off. And we moved up, and we heard him bugling and heading toward that other bull. And I caught a quick glimpse of him. He's a big boy. And they're in there. And so we're gonna back out. It's getting dark. He's still in this little base drainage. Yeah. And he's actually working around. We're gonna back out, try and be here first light when the thermals are still coming down. And the elk should pile back in. They should. We watched them go out the top, so hopefully they'll come back in right over here. We'll be right here when they're ready. So if you're wondering why we're whispering and you hate whispering on hunting shows, it's because we don't want to blow this big bull out of here. So forgive us. I'll do subtitles or something. Let's get out of here. This is the second morning, and we came in with high hopes. As you can hear, the wind is howling. I mean, it's got to be 25, 30 mile per hour winds easily. And it's cool, so of course that makes it really cold. But you couldn't hear an elk bugle, I don't think, unless he was right on top of you. And we tried to bugle, and we tried him coughing. I mean, we've tried everything, get him talking. And, but, I don't know, we're going to kind of work our way down, and it's good for the scent because we have a really predominant wind. But if you can't hear them bugle, or if they can't hear you bugle, they ain't gonna do us any good. They're not going to respond. As the hunt progressed, we had encounter after encounter, but we never got to a position to where we could actually make a shot, and it was coming down to crunch time. With one day left to hunt, we knew it was go time. Unfortunately, my cameraman, Jeff, had to leave. He had prior obligations. And so Quentin and I talked Travis Stevenson, who's the ranch manager of the Split Rock Ranch, into running camera. And Travis had no experience running camera, but he knew elk. He'd worked on that ranch for, I think, 10 plus years, and he knew where some of those elk hidey holes were. That morning, we headed out with high hopes. And it was coming on the fourth quarter. We knew we had to make something happen. Well, with the wind causing havoc, we also ran into a lot of other hunters. Some reason that the little honey hole we'd been working and consistently getting into elk, well, everybody else had found it too. After that tough morning with the wind and all the people, we decided to look somewhere else. We realized it was a minute, 2 minutes left, whatever football analogy you want to use, and we were on the 10-yard line, and it was going to be tough, but we had a chance. And so we went and started to look at these pockets where we knew there had to be some elk. As we were driving through this one canyon on actually a well-maintained 2-track road, Travis, our new cameraman, looked off to the left and said, you know, that looks like a place some elk would be. But it's too close to the road, nobody would check. And we thought, reverse psychology, why not? Let's give it a shot. Quinn and I jumped out, I grabbed my bow, Travis grabbed the camera, and we went over that ridge. Quinn bugled quickly, and don't you know, a bull hammered 250 yards away. It was game on. And we've got some bulls bugling their heads off over here, so we're gonna work over. We got the wind right in our face. See if we can't make a play on them. We got into a little opening, Quinn bugled behind us, and the bull hammered. He wasn't far away. Pretty soon, I looked to my left. Travis was standing there with the camera, and there's a cow not 4 yards from him. But it's so thick you could barely make it out. As I turned to my right, I looked, and up on a little bench, through the trees, the bull's antlers turned. Talk about up close and personal. That bull wasn't 7 yards from me, and he was coming down a trail where I actually had a window to my right. I tried to sneak the draw, and that son of a gun, I don't know how he saw me, but he caught the movement and turned and pinned me down through the trees. Partly dejected, thinking that was going to be our only opportunity, we gathered back up with Quentin, and we thought, well, why not work the rest of this draw out, see if there's another bull in here. We hadn't walked 100 yards. Quinn bugled again, and that same bull answered us, but this time he was across the draw. Travis and I hustled up and got the wind right because we moved a little bit that the wind could have been real shaky there. So we moved back and came back in. Quentin set up again, started calling. It wasn't 15 seconds and Travis says, "Here he comes!" Off to our left, looked over, and that bull was running down the draw right to us. I don't mean to be disrespectful, I'm not trying to be that. We've just worked so hard. And I'll be honest with you. We had some really windy days, and when you can't hear a bugle, what do? You don't know where to go, and it's thick country, Wyoming public land. Oh, my good buddy Quinn. I don't know what to say. I'm kind of flabbergasted. Yesterday we had some rain, and the front came in, and they got vocal, but it just didn't happen. And this morning we got up, and it just, it was windy. We were like, oh, last day, and I hate to be the cliche, last day, oh, we're gonna go, but it's the last day, and I'm leaving tonight. And we got on this bull, got on him close and personal. I had no shot at 6 yards, 6 yards, and I thought he was gonna walk in. I went to full draw, and he didn't. Blew out of here. We stayed patient. We played the wind. Quinn, did he? I think I heard him crash.
I heard him crash.
Dude.
I heard him crash too.
You called for me. That was perfect because you know where I shot him? Standing right there. And you know what? I didn't draw till his head bit behind there. And then did you hear me go? I tried to squeak. It was what's that? Well, my claw was in the side of my mouth. So but I'm trying to settle the pan. I think we tucked it.
Good work, bud.
Finally. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Jeff had to go home.
Crashed.
I know. I think I did too. Jeff had to go home this morning. We got Travis. we suckered Travis into running the camera. Oh, and here we are. Thick, nasty. I mean, Travis is the one that got us into this.
Yeah. That's
honestly,
exactly
Travis
right.
is like, you know what? We're driving by some country and it looks elky, but it's right off the road. And Travis is like, this looks like a place nobody will stop at. Why don't we just go in here and try it? It's what time? It is literally 3 o'clock, 3:15. We got on him about 2:30. Yeah. We've been working up this little draw.
Travis, thanks for being with us,
Thanks
bud.
for being with us, man. I'm glad. His eyes were big as the camera lens. I promise. I looked back and he had two. His eyes were like this. That's what. Oh, look at down here. Yeah, he's already started.
He's laying right there.
Six by six.
Look at that.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Quinn. Travis, thank you.
Gotcha.
Jeff did a great job while he was here building
right.
the story. We do have a story, don't we?
Oh, we have an amazing week. It has just been, we have seen bull after bull after bull, and you know, this mountain's known for great big elk, and this is just a beautiful six.
Well, we did it, guys.
We got him.
Last day, and I know that's cliche, last day, but we did it. Thanks for all you guys' help, and Quinn, it's been a blast. You and I almost kind of like we've been hunting a while together, huh?
Yeah, I know, you know, it all started over a simple conversation and working on a 3D archery shoot and hosting a deal, and just kind of bloomed from there. And he calls me and tells me, man, I can't hunt Colorado this year. I got a
my shoulder. Yeah.
And I said, hey, now we can fix this problem. Let's get you in, get you a handicap tag, and we got you set up.
Yeah, he's the reason I even got to hunt last year in Colorado, because I thought with that bump shoulder I couldn't hunt with a crossbow, and I couldn't hunt with a regular bow because I couldn't lift my arm. And this is my first bull back. I mean, I killed an antelope this year, but this is so. You know, Quinn really helped me last year, and then we drew this tag, and here we are in Wyoming, public land. 4 days of hard hunting. I mean, it was tough. These elk are not rutting like they should be this time of year. It is September 18th, and they're just getting kicked in. This is the biggest bull we've seen with cows.
That's exactly right.
They've mostly been raggies, you know, raggy 5s and 6s.
We've seen some other bulls that should have had cows with them and didn't have anything with them.
They were by themselves.
But would talk a little bit.
Yeah. Well, when he came in the first time, he was what, 7 yards from us?
Oh, 7 yards.
And there's nothing like that. And he bugled, and we couldn't do anything. It was too thick to shoot through. I mean, I don't know how we haven't even looked at the footage. You couldn't have seen him through the footage. You might have been able to see a glimpse of him turning his antlers, and then we thought he was going to come through, and he caught us.
Yeah, when he bugled at 7 yards, that was
impressive.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he just didn't like it and took off, and we got back in on him.
That's right.
That's unusual. That's unusual to bust a bull out, though, and to be able for us to call him back in. And you looked over when we got in this bottom, and you said, "Here he comes."
Yeah, he come right off that hill. He was mad with Quentin. Man, he was coming.
And then we were able to squeak something to make him stop. I'm not sure what that was. Came out of my mouth, but we got him stopped, and then wouldn't you know it, I guess I got her done.
Got her done.
Yeah, I mean, I just settled that pin on the shoulder. It was only, I would 17 yards maybe, and settled that, and, you know, tucked it in, and 40 yards, and here we are.
Beautiful shot.
We've got some work to do now, guys. Thanks again, and hey, thanks for watching, and we'll see you down the trail on Outback Outdoors. I love elk hunting. It's the greatest. I know, it's so much fun. What a great hunt. I want to thank QRS Outdoor Specialties, Quentin Smith, Travis Stevenson from the Split Rock Ranch. This is a memory I'll take for the rest of my life. I wanted to get a mature bull, and I was able to err on nice 6x6 on video on this public land hunt. Thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it half as much as I enjoyed doing it. And we'll see you next time on Outback Outdoors.